What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Real Moves Podcast, episode 2. And today we are here with a very special guest. First off, I'm Jonathan Gonzalez.
I'm Jeff Luna.
And today we're here with a legend, a marketing legend, social media guru, SEO specialist.
So nice.
With Hassan Ilyas of Growth University. What's going on, Hassan?
What's up, brother? Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Nice. First time meeting one of the co-hosts right now. So
There you go.
I'm excited for today.
Yeah, likewise, man. Likewise. So, I mean, I guess we'll just start with your story. Like, take us back to, first off, to help us understand where you're at now. Tell us what you do at Growth University.
Yeah. So like Jono said, my name's Hassan Ilyas. I run a marketing company called Growth University. You guys might be wondering, it's like, why university? I call it like education on ads. So we try to help clients and educate them, let them know what we're doing. Sometimes in the marketing space, there's like a gap of like what's actually going on, like when someone's giving you their money. So we try to educate them, let them know what they're doing, what we're doing. And then we put ads on education. So when we run ads, I think the ads that we run or the angles we run are pretty smart and strategized. So that's what we do. So we do Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram, SEO, TikTok, website creation, offer creation, helping people niche down on their ideal market, ideal client. I work with Jonathan when it comes to video. He kills it. Jonathan and I have a really cool story. We go back a little bit. But yeah, so actually I launched that in 2020, I think November. I first started with Chapman University, running their podcast now since 2021, 22, like almost 3 years now. And from there, it's been nutty, man. The marketing game has been nutty since COVID.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So you started during COVID.
So I started the company during COVID, but I actually got into marketing without knowing I got into marketing. It's just a pretty funny story. Jonathan's actually involved in this story. But so I'm a psychology major. I went to school, University of Central Missouri. Shout out UCM Mules. If you know, Warrensburg, Missouri, small little town. But actually, I didn't even know what marketing was, but I was a psychology major. And I used to work for a car company. I was with this car company called Car Trackers for about a decade. And we used to export cars overseas. And this is literally how I got into marketing, not knowing until like a few years later. But everyone used to look for these cars on Craigslist, Auto Trader, Kelley Blue Book. And I remember I was in college and I was like, and it was crazy competition, man. Sometimes you can buy a car for $3,000 over here, sells for $14,000, $15,000 overseas.
Right.
So you can imagine, some people know about the market. John knows kind of from experience, and it's literally like, if you're not the first person to call a car, the car sold.
Why is that? Is that just like supply and demand? Like you don't have cars over there, or like?
No, it's like the labor over there is super duper cheap. So you can buy cars with like 200,000 miles over here.
Right.
And if you buy the right car, depending on like what vehicle they're purchasing, they'll last for another 10, 15 years. It'll be used by government, fleet vehicles, farming vehicles.
Wow.
And the market's just crazy. There's also a huge tax as well. So that's why you get paid.
Because like you think like, other countries don't have like a whole lot of money like compared to like the US, right? So you would think that
you'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Not getting too much in detail because I know sometimes that market is still live for people.
Right.
But yeah, it was crazy. But I think 2013, 2014, I was like, man, there has to be a different way to like get in contact with these people. There has to be. So I don't know how, but I was like, okay, if people are posting online, what if we like talk to the people before they like are interested in selling the car? And I was like, well, how do we do that? And I literally sat in my house like every day and during class, like how could I get in contact with these people? And I stumbled upon direct mail where you can like mail somebody you can mail them like a card and you can mail it to people who own the vehicles. So I went down this route of like finding companies that had data. Was it correct data? Was it the right vehicle? And I begged my boss. I was like, hey, can we try this, please? Like I didn't have any money. I was like, can we just try this? Like, I think it's going to work. I remember put together the full campaign. And the cool thing about my boss was he let me do whatever I wanted. He's like, if you have a cool idea, like, and it makes sense, just show it to me and like, we'll make it happen. So it's like during college, I begged him. His wife was like, I don't know if it's going to work. And literally we put it all together. We put a phone number, tracking number. And I remember like the first day we got like a first like person that called because they got a flyer. I was like, wow, man, I'm like a genius.
It's working.
Nothing at that.
Now,
first,
like,
yeah.
was it like an envelope with like their like, address to them, or was it a postcard?
It was a
what type of?
it was a 5x8 postcard, and when I look back now, it's the same thing I do to almost all of our clients is laser focus on who your audience is and what your message is. And it was like, hey, if you own this car, this color, this year, call us. We'll make you a good offer. Right? So imagine like you get a postcard.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, dude, this is kind of freaky. This is
exactly what I own.
right. And you know what the crazy part was? At that time, I didn't know how Facebook ads work. You could do that exact same thing through Facebook ads.
Wow.
I had no idea, man. I had no idea.
The game for Facebook ads in 2012, 13, 14, 15 is insane.
Yeah, if you knew ads back then, you're making dumb money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with like, you know, selling homes and stuff, because like Facebook had so much great data. You know, you can target homeowners in certain areas. It was like crazy because I got into Facebook ads in 2017, 2018, and that was like the end or about to be the end of the good old days. And then they changed the whole, you know, special ad category.
They change everything all the time, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know?
Sometimes we have clients that are like, hey, well, like, we don't want you guys to run your ads. Can you just show us? And I was like, depends on how Facebook's looking today. Like, I don't know if they changed the back end or if it's the same.
Yeah, it's always changing.
Yeah.
Tell us more about, so you kind of stumbled into like this direct mail marketing campaign, right? I'm sure, I know how that stuff goes too. You were probably so excited. You went home after work one night, 5 p.m. to freaking 5 a.m. You were probably just on the computer, like zoned in
dude.
and so excited.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
How successful was that campaign ultimately? Like, how did it end out?
It was it was very, very successful. And so I used to get paid commission on those deals. But as you know, so like these cars, I kind of told you like how much they would like go for. So when we started contacting the people before they were ready to sell, we made them a good offer. Some people actually weren't even selling us a car. They were like, hey, can you just pick it up? So sometimes we would just pay for like the tow truck to pick it up. Or some people like, hey,
get it for free.
Get 500, yeah, for free, $500. And like, you're sitting on like gold mines. So that campaign, like, so what ended up happening, and this is like a learning lesson for us, was we had sent one of the campaigns to one of our competitors, and we didn't buy all the domains. So one of them, like, we had it FOR. The competitor saw it. They went on GoDaddy, and then they bought the same domain, but with a number 4. They copied the exact. By the way, anytime, like, if you want to know if you're doing something right, your competition will start copying you. So they ran the exact campaign, and then we started like losing like the market on that. Like it was just like a good timing thing. It was the first time anyone ever did that. And I think we ran 3 or 4 campaigns, and like once the competition started doing it, it kind of fizzled out. Amazing campaign though. And even now, by the way, since COVID, I don't know if you guys notice or if you guys like really think about it, but getting mail now, like people, like they want to get out of their house. So like if you were getting mail,
They were excited.
So like for those that are like thinking about, hey, what kind of marketing should I do? Direct mail is not dead, man. Direct mail is booming still.
Yeah.
So to date, one of our best campaigns for direct mail was actually with Jonathan. So Jonathan and I used to work together. Shout out to Jonathan real quick. I'm gonna give you some brownie points here. So one of the reasons why Jonathan and I still work together, it's actually hard to find good people, man. So like I've fired, and it always like comes down to like morals and ethics. Like you've probably seen people have done some weird stuff in the last company we used to work with. But when you're a good person, man, like business is easy. So like now like I go out, and if I still remember good people from the past, I'll try to do business with them. So that's why me and Jonathan, we're still straight up. Like if he has to charge me more, he'll charge me more. If he's running late, he'll tell me straight up. Even today, I was coming here late, and I was like, dude, how late should I tell him that I'm going to be late? And I was like, you know what? He tells me when he's late. It's all good.
Straight up, yeah.
But I hit up Jonathan because like Jonathan was like good at graphics, or like I don't know if it would be considered graphics at that time or what you thought, but you were like good with like editing.
I was going to school at the time, and I was just diving into like Adobe Suite. So I was learning Photoshop, Illustrator. So it was like graphic design, but looking back now, I wasn't good, but It was just my beginning stages, getting started.
I still have that postcard in my room. But yeah, he made like a really sexy, I say sexy because like when I think about something that looks cool, I say sexy. But he made a super sick postcard. You got paid for it, right?
Probably.
I think
maybe
you
like $40.
I remember, yeah, something young at that time. But yeah, that campaign was like best campaign. I know like your friends were working at that time. The calls were coming in left and right. Emails were coming in.
Yeah.
It was a good time, man. So, and back then I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I did this thing. It's cool.
No, it's like super exciting. Like during COVID, I started like a Shopify, website.
Oh, nice.
I sold golf gloves, and I messed up on the order itself because half my order was like, items that were damaged or the figures were long, and so I could only sell half of them. But yeah, it was crazy to see people. He actually put together our video for the marketing.
Oh, nice.
And it was just crazy to see that people were ordering that we had no idea, like Texas and Florida.
Were you drop shipping it or did you order it?
No, I actually just ordered. My order was 500, and out of the 500, probably 200 were good. Where we were checking them. Like,
Did you do it from Alibaba?
I did.
Nice.
But they weren't verified supplier. They weren't. I didn't have insurance on the order, so I was like, oh, I screwed up on that.
Yeah.
Now I know how to order better, but yeah, I screwed up on that. So I still to this day I have like a tote full of
Unusable gloves.
yeah, they're all red, and the red dye comes off on your hands. And
by the way, you got to be careful with Alibaba, man. I've experienced it myself, man. Like the system in Alibaba is like built against you, bro.
Yeah.
Like just recently, man, we've been having like supply chain issues for one of our companies, and I've been like waiting for products for like almost 2 months now. When you airship, it takes like 4 or 5 days. I'm like, dude, what's going on? The guy that manufactures our products, he sent a tracking number on Alibaba that shows that the product, from his end, he did everything, fulfilled it, but he actually shipped it 2 months later. And but he didn't ship it through Alibaba. Like he didn't show that tracking number. So like between the parties, looks like there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Right? But he ships it 2 months later and he's like, no, man, I shipped it. I was like, yo. So it's like, you can't really do anything because like
They could just easily lie. There's no way of verifying that.
but if you get insurance on it, you never got it, right? I mean,
So the way that he does it, man, like, and it's also for me because I didn't know. Like, I had to talk to one of my other clients, and then, like, it shows that it's like delivered, it's signed for, but the way that he sets it up, like, I didn't know the way he was setting it up.
so it was like a fake tracking.
Yeah, it's like it's a real tracking number, but it goes to somewhere else. And I would like ask him, I was like, hey, man, like, why does it say Thailand? Like, it's like I'm in Found Valley. He's like, oh no, don't worry, like, I'll get fixed, like whatever.
Just rubbing it off.
Wow. Yeah.
The thing that excites me about this is like talking about selling gloves, selling your product online, everything. It all comes together. You can sell anything in this day and age because of marketing and because of the internet, obviously. But going into like talking about marketing now, what are some of the, I guess maybe most lucrative things that your clients are doing, or what do you think? What do you see that's working this day and age?
That's good. What's working this day and age? So, are you guys familiar with funnels? Like someone sees an ad and then they go to a website, put in their information. The past like 2 years, since iOS 14, like they changed their tracking. So
Apple
and Facebook had an issue with each other. I don't know what happened, but basically when it came to scaling ads, like actually like using data and then making an ad better, showing it to the right people, like that kind of disappeared a little bit.
Right.
So what ended up happening is like all these people that would do landing pages or send people to like websites, that data, like they couldn't really scale the ad. So one ad that had started working a lot then and still works now is Facebook lead ads. So Facebook lead ads, it's basically an ad without having to send someone to a landing page. It's actually in Facebook. Like you can put, you guys maybe have seen it before, but like maybe you'll see a video or a graphic and you can submit your information directly on Facebook.
And the lead capture form automatically populates based on their Facebook information, right?
Correct.
So you just click a button and all your stuff is there, and you click a button again and you got the lead.
And the less steps a consumer has to take, the cheaper that lead is. So the more qualified a lead is, the more it's going to cost you. The less steps they got to take, the cheaper it is. So like you can get leads for like $2, $4, $5. And we were just talking earlier before we started was like, you might be getting a lot of leads, but are they good leads? So like even on Facebook, there is junk on Facebook, but if you want to kill it. If you have a business where you're contacting people, maybe they're not buying the product or service directly online, like you have to contact and qualify them first. If you have a qualifying system, whether it's a call center or like a system set up where, hey, if the lead comes in, I'm going to email it right away, I'm going to text it, and I'm going to call it, and you can get to the lead within 2 to 3 minutes, you can get really crazy results on Facebook.
Really?
And if you have a good creative, or if you're showing it to the right people, I mean,
I think that's the hard part, is showing it to the right people, especially for me, dealing with real estate realtors.
Right.
Because they changed their whole, it was great. I mean, like in 2018, I ran an ad.
Yeah.
And I literally targeted a certain city that I was farming.
Right.
And I targeted just homeowners because that was who I wanted it.
Right.
And it didn't matter if I spent $5 for the ad, because even if I reached 100 people, 100 of those people would be homeowners.
Right.
And that's who I want to reach. And now you can't do that.
So you can do that.
Well, through that custom audiences.
Yeah, so you can like the same thing we talked about data is you can buy the data of the homeowners, upload it, and then show it only to those people.
Mm-hmm. Right. But what happens if the custom data you buy, because I don't know about you, but I have like 10 different emails.
Yeah.
And the email I use for Facebook is like the one from 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I still use it, but I barely use it, right? So what happens if and my phone number had probably changed too.
100%.
So like, what happens if you buy data and it's like the new
right
email and phone number, and then
that's a chance you're taking, right? So like
exactly.
You could get bad data, or you could get good data, and then you upload it. It doesn't match the profiles. You may not be showing it to anybody, or those people don't even log in. So
speaking of data, so where are you buying this data exactly? Like, are you using some crazy stuff like LexisNexis?
Literally Google homeowner data. First name, last name, phone number, email, click, search, go through a bunch of companies.
And that's
now we have like some suppliers, because I've done this for years now, that I know like who to contact. But you literally just Google the data.
It's as simple as that. You just got to go on Google, search homeowners data.
Yeah.
La Mirada, California.
Exactly.
Spits out a bunch of 5 different options, price them out, and then pick.
Yeah,
which
and then
one you want.
the way to qualify, you can ask like, hey, how old is your data? Like, how often do you guys update it? Do you guys have any certifications? How long you guys have been in business? Sometimes a lot of these data companies, they're all getting it from the same place, and they're just reselling the same data.
Damn.
So like when you said price it out too, because everyone has
like from like Ben Verified or something.
Yeah. Everyone has it, almost the same thing.
Yeah. So the way that I did it, I pulled a list of 10,000 people, because you'd be surprised how many people live, even at this location, like a mile,
Right.
like, hundreds of thousands of people, especially LA, we're so dense, so I pulled a list of about 10,000 homeowners from this website, and I ran it on Facebook. And the crazy thing about Facebook too is that when you upload a custom audience, it doesn't let you know before how many have matched.
Oh, right, exactly.
So you have to run the ad to see how many of these 10,000 is gonna reach.
Yeah.
So out of my 10,000, I did a reach ad, right? A reach ad over a span. I think I did it for a 10-day period, just to see. I did a reach ad because the reach ad goal is to reach the most amount of people in a certain amount of time. So because I want to see how many people it reached, and it reached about 2,400 out of the 10,000.
Okay.
So we're looking at what, 25%,
Not bad.
So not bad. Yeah. Not bad. And the results of the ad were okay. Got a couple clicks, a couple leads, but nothing crazy, nothing like the lead or the ad that I ran in 2018,
right.
where it was just like crazy. Like literally I ran a simple home valuation ad, and I got all these, leads, and literally I would say we generated it reached probably a couple thousand, probably 50. And then out of the 50, like 5 of them were like selling like right then and there, like crazy.
That's nutty.
So it was like wild.
You know the crazy thing about like a lot of people that like they say like either ads don't work or like this platform doesn't work. They just haven't like, let's say you're in real estate, right? And let's say you spent like 10, by the way, if my numbers are off, you tell me, but let's say you spent 10,000 in 1 month on Facebook ads. Every single lead was junk, and you got one good lead and you made like a 20K commission. Would that mean that marketing works or doesn't work?
Oh yeah, because you're positive ROI.
So I think what ends up happening is like people give up way too soon, or maybe they didn't put enough money aside for marketing.
Mm-hmm.
They usually are playing, and I say playing, with money that they don't actually have that they can spend.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, okay, I want to spend only $500. Like, dude, $500?
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. As you run the campaign, the longer you run the campaign, the better it gets because you start becoming narrow and narrow.
And if you don't know what you're doing, you should have a bigger budget. If you know what you're doing, you can spend less, or you can like, it's kind of like a sniper. You know exactly what you do. You know how much you need to spend. When you're new, like when I learned Facebook ads, my mentor said, hey, use $1,500 and just figure it out. And I was like, okay. I was like, what if he's like, you're going to probably lose all the money. Okay. So like if you actually budget out and you have enough money to spend, you'll be okay. But a lot of people will stop because they either ran out of money or they just gave up too soon.
Have you heard of the billboard theory?
No, please.
Okay.
Please tell me.
So if this was 1980 right now.
Yes.
Okay. What's the way that a business in 1980 can get in front of a lot of people?
TV ads or a billboard?
Radio, right?
Yeah.
And how much was that even back in the 80s?
Right.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. If you're on the side of the 60 freeway, you're spending even back then probably $5-10 grand.
Right.
Just to have one billboard. You know. So the whole point of like the ads, right, is that an ad nowadays on social media is like a billboard, but only the people that you choose are going to see the billboard.
Exactly.
Right. So in theory, it should actually be cheaper to run social media ads for your business at a local presence, right,
Exactly.
than it is to post like a billboard, right? And when we started doing, because I went to a seminar in 2018 and it was all about real estate for Facebook ads.
Right.
And this guy was converting like crazy because the data was so crazy, right? I mean, you can target like an area and make it literally the ad feel like it was for that person.
Right.
Like, do you live here? And, like calling them out and funneling people. And now it's like just for Facebook too, because I think Google has a lot better data now that you can still target. But Facebook has, made it very difficult for the real estate community for sure. Because not only can you not target certain demographics because of, what the whole, housing community, the whole privacy thing, but now you can only target people that are 18 years old or less to like 65.
Right. You can't get any you can't what do you call it? You can't discriminate. That's why it's a special category.
Some kid who's looking at $20 million houses in Malibu, that just surfing Zillow is gonna probably see your ad, and your dollar is not going as far as it used to.
Right.
Still cheaper than obviously buying a billboard.
Right.
But Facebook is really, you have to be really strategic with Facebook for real estate.
I will say on the real estate aspect of it, I think you said earlier, knowing the harder part is like showing it to the right people.
Right.
I think this goes for like any industry, but like I think now when people want to do business with any business, like let's say it's like someone who like mows your lawn or something.
Right.
Like I think they want to work with people that like it's more than just business. Like maybe they want to work with someone who's like a good person, or like maybe they follow some of their values
that they connect with.
And they connect with, right?
Yeah.
So like for real, not even just for realtors, but for anybody, like if you can share more than just what you do, like your message as well, there's going to be people that want to work with you because of who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think some people, they go a little bit too vanilla, man. Like when you're too vanilla, like you gotta like attract the right person. When you try to get everybody, you're gonna get nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if you can get really specific and know like, hey, I help the Latino community in this kind of housing, and I do this because XYZ is really important to me, you'll probably get a lot better leads for it.
That's in Russell Brunson's book. He said that, he said you have to be polarizing, right? You can't be like gray. You have to be black or white. Some of the best people that we see as public figures, a lot of people don't like them, but a lot of people do, right? Because they chose to go down a certain path,
right,
and take that demographic, and if you're the guy that is gray, you're never going to build like a true audience,
right?
And
it might just take you a really long time,
Right.
yeah.
So like if you're like, starting a business, right? Obviously you said you work with different types of ads, TikTok, Facebook. What's probably like the best performing platform right now? Like someone that starts an online business of some sort or selling a product or service, what do you think is like, that they should attack like first?
Yeah. So it's not what's the best platform. It's what's the best platform for them. Because not all of them I'd recommend. For instance, I spoke to a prospective client yesterday, and he's like, "Hey man, what do you think I should do?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't think you should run paid ads. Like, I think you should be growing your Facebook group."
Yeah.
Right. So like, for everyone, it's different. Like,
If you're a local service-based business, like you're a plumber in Whittier, you need to be on Google Business.
Google
You
My
need to be
Business, 100%.
SEO.
Google My Business, like, and it also depends on their budget too, like what they can spend. But like, if I was a plumbing company, I would be running a Facebook. You want to become the expert in that area,
Yeah.
right? So like, it's not, you don't have to, like, I learned this from Gary Vee. He said, put yourself out of business before you actually go out of business. So what he was basically saying was like, look, if you're a plumbing company, show people, like, give them value on how to fix their own stuff. And when they can't do it, they'll come to you because you gave them value in the first place. So like, for instance, I think Facebook would be a great place for people to, a local-based business, show them a video, because you can't show them a video on Google. Right? They see another side of the business. Cool. Just like the billboard, like, it's creating awareness. They kind of have an idea of the brand, and then you show them again, end up converting. But yeah, definitely Google My Business, amazing. I think I talked to you about SEO before. So like right now, just in general, the way the marketing landscape is going, the ads are going to get more expensive. They're always going to get more expensive. So if you're a business that wants to get leads or maybe doesn't have enough money to spend, you can compete with big competitors if you take SEO, search engine optimization, seriously. You have a website that's good enough to where you can get a lead that's not junk, that you can submit it, and be able to show for those specific keywords. So if you're like plumber in La Mirada, or alkaline water, Huntington Beach, can you show up on Google organically for that? Right? So like, we do a lot of people know SEO as like blogging on the front of the website. We do a lot of back-end SEO as well, make sure the whole website's optimized on the back end for Google, where Google likes it, trusts it, and shows it more often on the first page. So like, if you can spend some money on SEO, by the way, SEO is a lot cheaper than ads, depending on the company you work with. And if they're good, you can spend maybe $500 a month, $1,000 a month. And if you commit for like 6 to 8 months minimum, you can think about it. When you run ads, you have to run ads every single month.
Right.
When you do SEO proper, within 6 to 8 months, you could be ranking for the exact keywords that people are looking for online already.
Right.
Exactly. Committed for a long period of time.
So long game.
Everyone,
Gotta see it through, man.
it wants to do 2 months.
Yeah.
Everybody wants 20-minute abs, right? It doesn't work,
I tried.
Yeah. So this is my perception of SEO. Okay. So my perception of SEO, because I'm not an expert, I will say that, but I've done some research into the SEO space. So it's basically, you have to optimize a page dedicated to a word or phrase, right? So like, let's say for me, realtor in La Mirada, right? So I got to make a page, H1 tag, H2 tag, realtor in La Mirada, write my little, kind of like a blog post, Jeff Luna is a realtor in La Mirada, put all the terms in there.
Right.
And then make the page obviously good, so when people search it and view it, that they're getting what they asked for, right? So once you have the page optimized, then you got to start sending traffic there. Right. Now, the way that Google says to do it is, just do Google Ads, right? And then you're, a couple $1,000s down the bucket, because not that many people search La Mirada Realtor that much, right? So it's going to take you a while to get there, but it's going to cost you a lot in the long run, right? Or there's a lot of other strategic ways that you can run, traffic there. So once you send the traffic there, then you start ranking up according to how the traffic is reacting to that link that you created, right? Because if they're just bouncing off, your bounce rate is really high, they're coming and going fast, you're not going to get up, right? But if they're staying there, and because Google basically, they want to serve the customer, right? So they want to show the website, when they search a term or phrase, they want to show that consumer the website that's getting the most attention, that's staying there the longest. Because if they're staying there, that means that they're getting what they asked for. That's why these companies like the Zillows, like in real estate, like they're way up there, because they have so much information for the consumer to consume 100%. Based on what they searched, right? So then that's my perception. And once you send the traffic there, you start ranking up, and then hopefully, you know, once you get to the top, you stay there because your website is good and people are getting what they ask for.
Right. I'll be honest, I'm not the number one SEO expert. I know I know it enough to where I can explain it and tell you the value of it. But like we have a team of 8 guys that are like doing SEO writing 24/7.
Okay.
So,
because I heard that backlinks are also important.
Yeah, 100%. Like what you can do in the SEO world, like it's nutty, man. It's nutty. I have a quick question for you guys.
Yeah.
So name of the podcast is?
Real Moves.
What does that mean?
Real moves. It's really just about anybody making real moves. Like who's doing real stuff in the world, dude.
Okay.
Like.
So I'm gonna ask you something.
Go ahead.
Probably one of the realest moves I ever seen was from this guy, and I want to ask you about it.
Yeah.
Is when you left the company way back in, what year was this?
2017.
2017.
February 2018.
Right.
February 2018.
I thought that was a real move, and I wanted you to take us back and tell me what was going through your head. So like for me, right, the reason why I think this was a real move is Jonathan was a great employee, loved working with him, but like he had this passion to do something else, and like it was like this itch, and like, you know, a lot of people sometimes when they have this itch, it's an itch that they never scratch for the rest of their life, and they die with it.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, like, and this was also one of the reasons why, like, someone taking the courage to go after what they want, when I see someone else do that, it makes it easier for the person who's watching to be like, man, maybe they get that itch and they're like, well, Jonathan was able to do it. Like, why can't I let go? Why can't I? So please tell me, like, I don't know if it was I don't know how big of a decision it was for you, but for me watching from the outside, I was like, dang.
It was a pretty big deal. I mean,
Were you going to college at that time?
I was going to college. I was on my last semester at Cal State Fullerton. And a big part of the reason why is because my last semester I was doing like 18 units.
Yeah.
I was like slammed. Like,
What were you going to college for?
I went to school for marketing. So I got my degree in business administration with a concentration in marketing. I was slammed. My life was literally gym, school, work, gym, school, work, gym, school, work. It was like that for like 5 years in college.
And by the way, when we worked like, it was like almost our whole life.
Yeah.
That's what it felt.
It was legit. Like I worked full time my entire time in college up until that point, and I had this like fire lit in my ass by Gary Vee, and I was like reselling stuff online.
That's how me and John are really connected.
Decent side cash doing that, right? And
Same.
Yeah.
Very V, yeah.
dude, it was just like I said this in the last podcast. The stuff I wanted out of my life, the stuff I wanted to do, the things I wanted to buy, the places I wanted to go, I wasn't living up to those actions. Like the stuff I was saying I wanted and was going to achieve wasn't going to happen with what I was doing. So until I took a leap and like decided I'm going to go do this on my own, I'm going to figure it out, I'm going to make it happen. Not until that point was it's like, okay, I'm doing everything I possibly can to live out my dreams and do what I want to do. And at the time I thought, you know, this is going to be easy. I know it all. Like, it's going to be cool. I'm going to graduate school in a couple months and work's going to flow in. Wrong, right? Like, couldn't be furthest from the truth. So it was just really all about making the real moves, right? Like, I had a truck that I loved and adored, but ultimately that truck was like a quarter of my monthly income I was paying to that truck. It's like, okay, this is not adding up, right? If I'm trying to save money and I'm trying to do this business stuff, this thing's got to go. And I loved it, and I cried the day before I sold it, but I had to do what I had to do because now I can afford it, you know, with ease, but back then I couldn't.
By the way, this reminds me of the story of Sylvester Stallone. He sold his dog.
Wow.
He didn't have enough money, so he sold his dog, and he told the guy, he said, when I make it, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna buy the dog back.
That's awesome.
So he, like, after he did, I think, the first Rocky, he saw the guy in like Hollywood at some restaurant. He's like, I want my dog back. He bought his dog back.
That's dope.
Hey, you got your 4Runner now, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I still do want a truck, but I have a lot of love and respect for entrepreneurs and people just doing their thing who do what they say they're gonna do. or take the advice from others. Like if I love helping those kinds of people, like who are just coming up, they could be the same age as me, they could be older than me, they could be younger than me, I don't care. But if they're early in their entrepreneur journey and they're down to take risks, and I could just see it in them that they want this more than anything, like I will freaking help you get to where you want.
So tell me this. So when you, cause I was kind like, for the most part, I knew like what you were going through, and you were like thinking about it for a long time. What were you basically thinking about? What was holding you back from doing it sooner?
No, I don't know. I didn't really have much of a game plan, like
Probably school
earlier on. Yeah, school was probably a big part of it, right? Like I had to finish that out. I mean, I was already so close, months away from graduating. It's like, why wouldn't I finish this thing out? And it just maybe that wasn't the right time because of that, and I also needed the money.
Did you know what you were like when you like put in your? Would you put in 2 weeks or did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Did you know exactly what you were gonna do, or did you have some money saved up where you were like, okay, I have some like breathing room right now?
Bro, I didn't have money saved up. I had money, but it's like $3,500. Like, you know, I told myself, oh, I have money saved up, we'll be good. Like I was living at home. It's like, I got 3 months. This is cool. $3,500.
Yeah.
No, like that stuff's gone quicker than fat. Yeah. Just blink and it's gone. So I really left before I was ready, but I think that's also the key. Like a lot of people wait too long, and you wait and wait. Like if we during this podcast, right?
Yeah.
We were waiting, and like I was always telling Jeff, like, nah, next week, we gotta do this. We gotta set up this wall to make it look good. It's like, dude, like screw that. Like let's just do it. Like just do it before you're ready. And so I think that's what it was. I wasn't exactly ready, but it's just personally, this is just personal preference, nothing wrong with like working for someone else, but I just wasn't prepared to work for someone else anymore. And for the rest of my life, like I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I was just going to figure it out.
I think what stuck out to me, what you said too, is like when you downgraded like your car, traded it in, because like I think that you'll really know like subconsciously if you're serious about something once you start putting money towards it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you start putting money towards something, like you're serious, right? Because too many people, they talk about certain things that they want to do or that they think of doing, they don't put no money towards it.
Right.
Yeah, not serious.
By the way, one of the reasons it was hard that Jonathan left was Jonathan was a really good employee, man. It's really good. Never had any issues with him. And like I always loved working with people that like we never hung out, but like work was almost like second home, right?
Yeah.
So like when you left, it was pretty tough, man. It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I hear the same stories of people at Costco. When I left, I was there for 3 years, and they freaking hated their life after that because everything just crumbles and falls apart when you lose a good member of the team, you know?
Yeah. But like this is just like advice to any like CEOs or people who manage people. If you demonize someone for leaving to go like chase their dreams or do like what they really want to do with their life, that shows you a lot about that person, and that shows you a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
So I know like one of my main things, I was like, I want to make sure like if anyone leaves, I leave on good terms. Like I don't want them to feel like going out and doing something new. It's like scary, right? Why would you like make it even harder for that person or take away from what they're trying to do?
Yeah.
It's like, you should have stayed. Like, I can't believe you just like, dude, really, man? Like, you don't want me to go try and like go live my life? Like,
Yeah.
Come on. So be nicer to people that leave, man. You never know. And you never know where that relationship's going to take you. So, yeah. So he left in what, 2017? 2016? I don't know when it was.
2018. You said 2018.
And I left in 2020. Yeah.
Before or after COVID?
This was during COVID, man. That time was a very...
Or like before it started, like in March?
No, it started. Okay. So I left like April.
Do you wish you had left sooner?
I think everyone in my family, my friends would always say, hey, leave sooner. But I think for me, I definitely left a lot of money on the table there, and I had really good opportunity for growth. But I went there more for learning. Like I got into so many meetings. I got, I got paid to get trained. Like I got trained by Gary Vee. Like I did a 1-day, 8-hour seminar with him and his whole team. Like blew my mind, bro. But that was because I asked my boss, like, hey, I want to do this. Can you pay half? I'll pay half. Right. And like, a lot of opportunities were open for me there. I learned a lot. I was able to experiment, and yeah, I don't know if maybe it'd been nice. I think the only place I messed up is like going into 2019. I knew I wanted to start a business. Like what I did was I wrote everything I wanted to do in my room, like a big wall, and I would see every single day. It started messing with my head, man. I was like, why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing this? So I literally used all my money, bro, and I used to make good money.
Yeah.
So when COVID hit, bro, when I say broke, bro, I was broke. Shout out to my parents, man, because like they carried me through
Yeah, seriously.
for like 6 months. I know not everyone has that opportunity to do that. So if you do, like, make sure you tell your parents you love them, because they help you when you.
Yeah, same. I'm very, very grateful. Like same situation.
Yep.
On my end too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was never good with managing my money, but ended up working out. So it's
Yeah.
cool. And now they're like one of my clients, and it works out.
That's awesome.
So when you say you weren't good at managing, like, was that just, you were just buying stuff that you didn't need, or what was kind of like your...
Well, no, so I was like buying, like, for instance, you said you don't need everything to get started. Like, dude, I was buying lights. I was like, why am I, like, and I was just, like, my room was filled with, like, studio equipment. I think I would, like, hit you up, too. It's like, hey, what do you think about this? I was like, I don't even know why I was buying stuff, bro. Also that, and, like, I was paying off, like, debt, and I was just, like, not, like, my lifestyle wasn't the best. I would give money to people and then, like, not ever ask for it back. And
Yeah.
like, dude, where's all my money at? Like,
Oh, man.
it was pretty bad, bro. It was pretty bad.
You're very generous. That's the hard part. Is like somebody
Yeah.
asks you something, you're gonna give it to them. So
Yeah, it's as I get older, it's better. It's okay to be a giver, but be a giver with limits. Like, don't hurt yourself trying to help
Yeah.
somebody.
it's cool that you realize that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have people like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I told some people, like, if I give you money, man, I would be enabling you. So I'm going to have to respectfully decline.
Yeah, bro. You know what? One of the hardest decisions I ever made when it came to money is my best friend called me from jail to bail him out, and he cussed me out on the phone. Like, I just almost like, hey, I can't, man. Like, even though I literally could do it in like a second. My other friends like, cussing, what's wrong with you? Like, why aren't you helping out? But like, that was hard, man. That was during work. I was freaking crying my eyes out, and I was like, dang, I'm a bad person, bro. Like, I wouldn't even help out my best friend. But I was, at the same time, I knew, I was like, man, if I do this, I'm not gonna learn. And he did. Dude, I didn't talk to him. And when I say my best friend, dude, this was like one of my homies. Like 6 or 7 months later, he called me, cussed me out a little bit more. And I just told him, I was like, I did this because I love you. And then like the conversation stopped, and he hung up. And then he called me back a few days later. He's like, yeah, man, you're like, you're like the only one that actually like helped me. And I was like, thanks, bro. Yeah, it was tough though, but
Yeah. So, like, going back to your, do you own that domain, growth?
Growth University, yeah.
.com?
.net.
.net, okay.
Yeah, so I wish I could have got the .com. By the way, everyone now when it comes to marketing, they have like growthconsultancy.com, growth everything, bro. I own the Instagram name though. So Growth University, I've had so many people message me and be like, hey, can I buy this handle from you? So
How much?
Yeah.
That's what you tell them. Say, don't come at me with an offer, bro. Let's say a number.
Exactly.
You know?
It's funny. Even I wanted to change the name for the company. It was just like a name that I had.
Yeah.
And like, dude, the name doesn't even matter, bro. If you're going to do something, like, don't worry on the stuff that doesn't matter. Like, your website really doesn't matter. The name of your company really doesn't matter. The clothes you wear really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Good at
Yeah,
what you do.
dude. Even, I mean, it's crazy. I've seen some, like, I do like a lot of like research on like other agents and stuff, and
Yeah.
some of them have these basic websites, and they're like killing the game.
Exactly,
like,
bro.
So I think people get caught up in that. Oh, it has to be perfect. It has to
Yeah.
be pleasing to the eye. But man, I've seen some crazy like websites that look like
Yeah.
a joke, and they convert. I've seen funnels too, like literally like funnels.
Something's like broken on the funnel.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, who think it's fun? It's like a converter. It's too simple to the point.
On that same note, so like this perfectionism, so like one thing I suffer from and one thing I think is a strength for me is speed. So like I'd rather forget perfection, I just put it out there. Many times in my life, and as I'm getting older, sometimes, this is me personally, the speed has not actually worked in my favor. And then other times like it has, and I'd have to really look back and be like, okay, how many mistakes have I made because I went too fast? And then how many mistakes have I made because I went too slow?
Yeah.
I still think, and I could be 100% wrong, but I think like, especially for marketing, if you go too slow, your opportunity will be gone. Whatever you think was good that day might be completely different the next day. So if you're like, no, let me put this offer together. Let me make sure, I'm going to get this video done by this company and then this graphic has to be like this. Dude, you can spend 90 days and the market could be, nobody wants it anymore. So like, I'm all for speed, but I also understand like taking the time. But I think if you take too much time, bro, like.
There's a happy medium.
Yeah. And then again, I stay on the more speed, happy medium side.
Yeah.
Like, go faster.
Yeah, I think also there's like a good opportunity right now just to build on social, you know, to grow an audience. Like my sister, she does eyelashes for women, and she's been blown up, you know, like her Instagram. Like she's like, I call her the queen of reels, you know, for lashes, because she's like literally every reel she posts is like 10K plus views, and it's like, wow. Like, and her following is like going crazy. She's almost at 10K, and I'm like, you know.
Does she does she work as well?
Yeah, she has her own lash studio here in La Habra.
So like, dude, people don't understand that you can make good part-time money online. Like, let's say, like, you know, I brought you guys chocolate today.
Yeah.
I want to hit them up and ask them like, hey, like, can I make some content? Can I get like some money back? Or like, do you have an influencer program or anything? You don't have to be like a influencer. Like if you just talk about what you like, sometimes companies see that and like, they'll be like, hey, like, can you post about this? They'll give you $1,000. They'll give you $500 and you can just talk about what you love. You don't have to sell out for something you don't want. Yeah. It could be about cameras. You guys know Think Media?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This guy's big on that.
Yeah.
You know how much money they make in affiliate commissions every month?
Oh, crazy. Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
And that guy is like super into videography, photography, and he's like, yeah, man, this is the light I use.
Here's the link to the same mic.
He's made some money off my ass, I'll tell you that. I clicked that link.
That's at a big scale, right? So some people see that and they're like, oh, not possible. Dude, it's possible. Where that guy started somewhere too, right?
Yeah.
It could be about lashes. It could be about beard, whatever.
Yeah, and I've been watching Sean Cannell for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean's awesome, man. He's a really humble dude. I like his story. And he's just someone that I actually bought into the VRA Academy.
Nice.
So I'm a part of his coaching. And, you know, it was $1,000 when I signed up. Right now, I think it's like $4,000 or $5,000, you know? And there's a lot of people in there. Like, they want to, like, you know, it's all based on YouTube mostly. But, yeah, he shows you a lot of, like, good stuff in there. And it's really just coming down to taking action, you know? I mean, there's some students in there that their videos, like, he goes over some of their videos, and it's, like, basic, you know? But they got, you know, 20K subs, you know? They got, you know, they're getting out there, you know? And it's out there. You just have to keep going, keep acting. One of my good friends, he's older, he's like 55, 56, and he's a great golfer. And he wanted to get into posting on golf, because golf right now, I don't know if you know anyone in the golf space, because many people don't. But like, you know who Nelk is? The Nelk boys?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a
they
group,
golf.
Yeah, they're big on golf. But there's a group within the golf community called Good Golf that's like huge in golf. Like these guys are the fastest growing golf channel ever. Like they started I think in COVID. Oh, wow. They started 2020 and they have over 1 million subs on YouTube. And it's like a group of guys that creates golf content.
They sell stuff too?
Oh yeah. They sell stuff, and literally like their life is they travel like once a week every month they go to a different golf course.
Wow.
And they go travel and they all meet up. There's like 6 of them or 10 of them, and they're all like golf influencers, and they make content at that golf course for a week. And they post it on all their channels, you know. And they just signed a deal with Callaway Golf. Like, wow, it's crazy, you know. So he just started posting on golf, and he didn't get much views in the beginning, you know, but he's been going hard now for probably like 3-4 months.
Wow.
And he's went from literally like his videos are you know, amateur videos. They're not really edited that great, but he's already over 1,000 followers on TikTok, almost 1,500 on Instagram. And he's like at 10K likes. Like, I mean, just from like being consistent. And that's one thing about him, is that he's really consistent.
It's good.
You know,
that's what you need.
Yeah. You know, I think in any business right now, right?
100%.
Any business, just be consistent, keep posting, and post about, you know, not so much the business, but also you, right? Like your story, your why. I think that's big, you know, on social.
I feel like you're speaking to me right now.
Yeah. You know, and then I think, like I was telling Jonathan, like our big thing this year is just being way better with our schedule. So like posting, like we use Later to post on social, you know, for us. Like we schedule everything now. Like I feel like if you're trying to post like daily, it's not gonna happen.
I just got Sprout Social, if you guys ever used that before.
Similar to Later.
Yeah.
Okay, Sprout. Yeah. So Yeah, I think that's the way to go if you're trying to be consistent. Because I mean, every day, especially for me, it's like you get an appointment, you get a meeting. It's like, you know, stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
And you'll just forget to post at this time.
Right.
You know, because you also have to do the research on what time to post, right?
Yeah.
I think that's really big.
What
like,
time? What to say in the caption? What hashtag to put? All
Yeah,
this, the thumbnail.
like a science to it, you know.
100%.
a lot of work.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of work. So I think that's the big for brands starting and, you know, people that are coming up, start going hard on social. I think that's first.
100%.
Yeah.
It should be part of your marketing strategy.
Oh yeah.
Or even if you start a company or product service, how much money am I putting towards marketing? What does that mean? Whether it's paid ads, organic, posting on social media, having a company do graphics for me or video, have a budget for that and have that budgeted into either the product or service you're going to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People forget that, man.
Yeah, we see, I mean,
Like-
we see a lot of restaurants coming into the community, right? Like a lot of small mom and pop Mexican food, whatever. And a lot of these business owners, they know how to make awesome food, great food, delicious stuff, but they don't understand marketing. They think that, you know, you just open the doors and people will flock.
Yeah.
Our food's good. Well, how do they know that? You have to tell them that, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where the marketing comes in.
Even when it comes to pricing your product or service, have a cost that goes in there that's like marketing. People are like, okay, this is the cost of the goods. This is how much shipping is going to be. How much is it going to cost to market per unit, each unit? And is that being taken care of? Then you can change your pricing.
You said that you guys build funnels too. How important is the copy on the funnel? Because a lot of people run ads in general, not even just funnels, but just even ads, right? And they always, like in real estate, it's all self-uplifting.
Right.
I'm number one. I'm the...
Yeah.
It's all about what's in it for the customer, right?
Yeah. So like I went to copy school through Billie Jean. I don't know if you know Billie Jean
Marketing. Yeah, I know.
So I learned all my copy through there. That's like I would say one of my better skills. Not just the copy on the funnel, but the copy on the ad is pretty important. But the way that I do copy, man, like I speak at like a third grade level. I make a lot of jokes, but I know it's different for each industry. We worked with like a real estate guy before, and he wanted to be like a lot more professional. And I'm like, nah, bro, you're not going to get anybody. But like for his demographic, it works. But I think like as long as the messaging is clear, whether it's on the ad or on the landing page, as long as you can communicate exactly what you're doing, it doesn't matter whether you write it in Chinese or English, like just make sure it's clear.
Do you guys, how much time do you guys put into like the actual creative? Like, are you guys running video ads mostly, or are you running just a photo?
Photographic is just as good as it was like back Facebook 2018. We spend more time on copy. Copy on the Facebook ad is the biggest thing.
Because I noticed like a lot of these big guys, they have this huge, you know, like...
Yeah, they do some of the stuff that's working, they're just trying to break someone's attention. I saw an ad that was blue. The guy's face was blue. And I stopped because like, why is this guy's face blue?
Right.
I literally like, you don't have to do anything crazy at this point. And if you can just call out your audience, attention, La Mirada. If you're showing it in La Mirada, they're like, oh, okay, wait, that's for me.
Right.
It's like simple stuff, man. It's just like in Vegas. Have you ever heard people snap or you hear them like clicking or they do like... It's just, they're trying to get someone's attention. They want you to look, right? It's the same thing when you're running an ad. You just want them to look, right? Those first 10 seconds of the ad, I remember when I was younger, I would see these thumbnails that like, you think there's like a girl in it. And then there's no girl in the video. That's literally like how they do, like that's marketing, man.
Clickbait.
Like, yeah, by the way, I hate that stuff. Like when we do ads, we try not doing any clickbait stuff. We try doing real reviews. Like some people want to do shady stuff. Like, dude, if you do it real, the way you make your money, if you make your money in the right way, it comes back the right way. Like when you try to like cheat, go like different weird ways.
Fake Lambo on the back.
Yeah, just get a real Lambo, bro. The Lambo will pay for itself through marketing.
Fake AP watch.
Yeah. Just get a salvage Lambo. No one's gonna know. Who cares?
Salvage.
Who cares if anybody knows it's salvage? You have Lambo.
Just rent it on Turo, dude.
Yeah.
$200.
You can rent it on Turo, but you should say, hey, I rented this on Turo. I just don't like when people post up and like they make it seem like it's theirs.
Yeah.
It's crazy because our financial advisor, like we had a meeting with him and he, you know, during COVID, like he wanted to help people, you know, like manage their money better, you know, and that was like his goal. And he started a Kajabi website. He was going hard on YouTube and, you know, his content is awesome. Like it's really smart. But I told him, I said, you're missing that kind of attention grabber, right? I said, like, what you should do is, I said, go rent like a Lambo, put it on like the thumbnail,
Yeah.
and then make the video about why you shouldn't go buy that stuff, right? But
Yeah.
just use that as a vehicle to get people to click on the video.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's going to click on how to manage your money.
Right, right,
you know?
right.
So, but it just wasn't him. He's like, I don't like that stuff. And, you know,
Right,
but
right.
unfortunately, that's the avenue, like, to get people to click is using people. A lot of influencers use stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just how you use it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think if you can be patient and not sell right away, I think you can win, man. If you whoever's the most patient will win the consumer at the end of the day. So like for instance, even in real estate, if you didn't right off the bat get them to like get an offer on their house or like whatever it is, like, hey, would you be interested in selling with me? What if you just like got them on your email list, or you just provided value, or you did like networks, mixers, and you had this like huge, 2 years from now, you had this huge list of friends. You guys mutually do business together. Maybe you never sold them a house, but like they trust you enough to where when that time comes, they're like, oh, Jeff's the guy to go to, man.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people, they try to sell too fast and there's no relationship there.
Right.
I know this because we're transactional marketing. Like majority of our customers, all they care is about, dude, we just need to make the money, right? You can do that for some industries, but other ones, if you can culture a relationship, dude, you can make money for the rest of your life. By the way, if you built your email list or your SMS list, if you ever needed to pivot as a business owner and you had the data and people already like you and they trust you, if you need to pivot, you can sell to them for the rest of your life. And you don't need that many people. You can get 1,000 people, warm people, and you can continue to sell to them for the rest of your life. You can change your product. You can add
On a monthly retainer at $99.99.
Exactly. I mean, you can, man. You can. If you do the math is there, bro. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you're good, you actually provide value. You don't have to do much, man.
That's one thing I'm working on too. I'm working on my own Kajabi like website,
Nice.
Just strictly for agents, and it's all going to be free. You know,
Nice.
it's all going to be free. It's all going to be just, you know, I'm tired of seeing these like fake gurus that, you know, really, I mean, they look good on camera, but
Yeah.
they give you a lot of vanilla.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of them will say like, oh, you know, if you're an agent, you got to, you know, post more on social, you know, or you got to do this or do
Yeah.
like really you can go watch a YouTube video about it.
Yeah.
But getting into like the deep down.
Just give me give me the real stuff, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
like step by step.
Yeah.
Like this is our process. This is how it's done, right?
Yeah.
Like no one wants to give that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like going to the gym and saying, "Hey, dude, I want big biceps." Oh, just work out.
Yeah. You know, so like
Work out.
we talked about this earlier, like about network marketing. So I started my sales career in network marketing back in 2011, 2012. Dude, the number one question I used to ask these people, because like, they have like the cars or they have a cool house, you're doing presentations there. I was like, hey, how hard is it? Like how much, I would always ask them like, how much money do you make? And I would try to figure out, the only reason I was asking is I want to know like how much sacrifice is it actually? And when I was younger, I didn't know how hard it actually was. Like running a business, it's 5 million times harder than you think. And I always wanted to just know like, hey, how much sacrifice does it take? Oh, it takes that much? Okay, I'm going to do it. And I feel like a lot of people, if I knew that, I would be like, I just never knew. Like the more I do it, like, oh, this is hard. Oh, I wish I knew this. I wish I knew this. If people were just straight up and be like, yo, dude, there's going to be nights where you don't sleep, or like you're not going to be able to go see your mother. You're not going to be able to call your mom, or hey, there's going to be a month where you
can't
have
go out.
money. Yeah, like if they were like very like, hey, look, this is the dark side of it. Here's all the good stuff, but this is actually the cost. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be in the middle of like, I don't know if I should do this or not. People would be like, you know what? I don't think being a business owner or entrepreneur is for me.
Yeah.
Which is totally okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I love employees. I have employees. Like, it's okay. But if people knew like, hey, this is what it costs, they would appreciate it more. They would also appreciate people who are doing that. They wouldn't hate on them, and they'd understand. Like a lot of people like demonize business owners. Oh, you make all this money. It's like, bro, do you understand the amount of stress
People are
gone
entitled.
through?
Yeah.
We're so entitled.
It's just, they don't understand.
Yeah, they have no idea.
And I think it could get fixed if we communicate more, like actually share the real stuff, like what actually goes on in the back end. Maybe they'll understand.
But then again, now at this day and age, like people are just gonna say, you post that kind of stuff, or you tell them, somebody's just gonna say, like, downplay it, kind of like, well, you chose that, you wanted to do that, that's on you. Oh, I'm sorry.
They're gonna
that's
blame
too
their
bad.
environment. They're gonna say that the odds were stacked against them, and they're gonna say that just all the excuses in the book. Like, I mean, look at all these athletes that come up, dude. A lot of them are from the ghetto. They have nothing, and now they're like millionaires because they put their life dedicated towards something.
Right.
A business owner, Jonathan, right? He put his whole life dedicated towards like
He sold his car.
yeah, dude. I mean, he put a lot of time and effort into it.
And I think it doesn't matter what the hell you want to do, whatever it is you're going to do, even if it's just wanting to become the most fit person you can personally become. It's all about dedication and consistency.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, in real estate, in running an ad agency, in running a media company, in going to the gym, whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is. Just decide what you're going to do and do it and stick to it. And you're going to go through these parts of the cycle where you have the highs, you have the lows, and then you'll have the highs again. But unless you can stick it out through that, like, you won't have what it is you ultimately want.
On that, it's my last point, and I'll stop talking. But like, if you're gonna go try something, you're gonna do something new, or if you want to make a real move, know it's gonna be tough. And during those tough moments, find people that have made a move similar to that and talk to them.
Yeah.
Because you'll see what you're going through is not. You're not the only one that's gone through this. People have already gone through exactly what you're going through, and if you talk to them, they'll tell you like, "Hey, this is normal. It's okay. Oh, this is normal. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going." Then you're gonna have that again a month later, 3 years later. Should I give up? No. At 3 years, you're gonna feel like you have to give up. You actually don't have to give up. Just keep going. So if you can get into circles that have already, people that have made moves like this, as you're making that move, because a move is not just one time. The move it's a journey.
Yeah.
If you can have the right people in your circle that tell you like, "Hey, it's okay," it's gonna be okay.
It's ever evolving. Cool. On that note, I guess we'll end it there. That was solid. Yeah, thank you very much, Hassan Ilyas, Growth University, making real moves out here in the world. So
Appreciate it.
thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys.
Thank you.